Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Lunch with Lisa. I am Lisa. I'm Lisa Warner. I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing. And I help people to live authentic, healthy, happy lives by connecting them to the wisdom of their soul. And today I wanted to talk about, are you living your life? Is your life yours? Or are you living life that is uncomfortable, that doesn't really fit? Yet in this day and age, there's so much going on in the world that draws our attention away from ourselves. There are so many people out there giving advice, telling us news that's scary, all kinds of things draw our attention to the outside world. And suddenly we live our lives and then we realize, I'm not happy. I don't feel well. I'm living a life that doesn't fit me. It's not my own. I don't feel comfortable in my own life. I don't feel happy. I don't feel healthy. I'm not wealthy. I feel emotionally bankrupt. Why does this happen? Well, each and every one of us has our attention point either fully inside, fully connected to who we are, or it's out in the outside world. When we place our attention in the outside world, we place more attention out there than we do in here. So what's going on in the outside world is a little chaotic, in case you hadn't noticed. And we've all been sent home to our rooms. We've all been sent back inside. And now is the perfect time to do some inner work, some housekeeping, not just like your physical environment. Physical housekeeping is a beautiful metaphor. When you clean your house, and you go and you do a deep clean and you get in those nooks and crannies and corners, dust on top of the window frames and dust along the corners, dust along the baseboards, and clear out the cupboards and get rid of all of the stuff that has accumulated, the stuff that you don't ever use. That's a beautiful metaphor for going within and connecting and clearing out all of the stuff that has been deposited into your energy field, into your awareness, into your belief systems by the outside world. When we're living a life that we don't enjoy, it's because we're living by somebody else's rules. When we get really quiet and we go within and we connect to who we truly are and we start living from our true authentic selves, our light starts to shine. When we're living a life that we don't enjoy, it dulls our shine. We're living in darkness. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable when our light has been dimmed. When we are shining and radiant, life becomes a completely different ballgame. So now, when we have been sent home to our rooms, when we're going through this, the great going within, as I like to call it, this is the time to do the internal housekeeping. This is the time to take a look at all of the things, all of those emotional energies that we haven't wanted to look at. All of those things from the past that happened 10, 20, 40, 60 years ago that we haven't wanted to look at for these past 10, 20, 40, 60 years, the stuff that is still hanging out in our energy field. It's time to clean that stuff out. It doesn't belong to any of us. All of that garbage, the stuff like, oh, I stole a pack of gum when I was 7 years old and I feel guilty about it. Well, do you need to still feel guilty about it? Like, really? Are you gonna go steal another pack of gum? Probably not, right? Like you kind of learned, like, wow, that didn't really feel good. It didn't feel in alignment with who I am. So you don't have to carry the guilt anymore. That's just a simple example, but how many examples do we need? How many things have we done in our past or have been done to us in the past that we're still carrying around? All of that stuff accumulates in our energy field. It accumulates, even though it's not directly in our face, it's kind of in the back. It's like, God, I got all this dust over there in the corner, and God, I just don't feel like dusting. But it's there. You're still living with the dust in the corner. It's time to clear out all of that stuff. And you know what? You don't actually have to go, when it comes to emotions and things, you don't really have to go in there with the duster. The really cool thing about energies and emotions is, that you don't have to get the vacuum or the duster, the Swiffer, whatever you're using. You can simply connect to your own brilliance, your own inner radiance. When you connect to your own stillness within and you start to shine your light, you start to draw in some more light, and you get quiet and you notice, wow, I can draw in peace. I can sit here quietly and I can bring in peace to my inner world. I can bring in stillness. I can bring in calm. I can bring in balance. I can bring in happy. I can bring in joy. All of these things are available right here, right now. 24/7 joy is available. Happiness is available. Peace and calm, serenity, balance, they are all available 24/7. We do not have to live in states of dis-ease. And as long as we are looking at the outside world and going, oh my God, I don't like that, we're perpetuating our own dis-ease. We can look at the outside world. It's not about ignoring what's going on out there, not at all. But it's about looking at the outside world and going, you know what? That's the outside world. I have my own inner environment. And my personal outside world comes from my inner environment. And you have total control over your own inner environment. When you get quiet and you start paying attention to your own inner environment, and you start regulating your own inner environment, turning up the knob on balance, turning down the knob on fear, turning up the knob on happiness, and turning down the knob of obligation, that I have to go do this stuff. You have so much more control over your reality, your life, than you've ever been led to believe. Now is the time to go within. Look at your life. Just simply take stock. What's working and what's not working. Turn up the rheostat. Turn up the volume on what's working and turn down the volume on what's not. Because the stuff that's not working, I guarantee you 100,000% that the stuff that's not working in your life is the stuff that doesn't belong to you. It's stuff that got deposited into your reality from the external world. It's the programming of that 3D matrix. of you have to go do this, you can't go do that. Oh, you want to do that, but that's not allowed. All of that stuff that got programmed in is the stuff that's making your life uncomfortable. It's making your body uncomfortable. That disease that you have, it's not permanent. You're not meant to live with it. It doesn't belong to you. It's not yours. And you know how you can tell? Because it feels like crap. It doesn't fit you. It's not yours. It's somebody else's clothing that you're wearing. It's somebody else that said, now you have this thing and you're going to have to live with it. Well, guess what? You don't have to live with it. You don't have to live with anything that you don't want to live with. You are a grand, amazing creator. You are a being of light, and you are 100% in control of your own life when you simply sit and get quiet and notice. It's amazingly simple. It's not necessarily easy, you know, because we have to flip our attention point. We have to stop going to the outside world all the time. We have to start noticing who we truly are on the inside. We have to start noticing ourselves primarily over the noise of the external world. And when you do that, you can manage your external reality, because your external reality will not be filled with fear and chaos. And you won't be worrying about having to try to protect yourself from the external world, because you'll be realizing that you are actually in charge of your own external world. So there's nothing to be afraid of. When you are generating your own experience of this reality, it's your reality, so you don't have to fear it. There is nothing that you have to protect yourself against, because you're the one that's creating. It's a completely different ballgame when you get quiet and you go within and you start creating as your authentic self. Hey, thanks for joining, everybody. I see Natalie and Mary and Christina and woohoo, Deanna and Tanya and Connie and Michelle. Wait, thanks for joining me, you guys. I love this. If anybody has any feedback, please pop it in there if you want me to answer any questions. But listen, you guys, each and every one of us deserves to be living an amazing, spectacular, beautiful life where we feel joyful and radiant, where we are living in our own radiance. Because when we are living in our own joy and radiance, when we're being happy, when we're being excited, when we're being peaceful and in balance, and when we're living in no fear, when we do that for ourselves, we're doing that for everybody else at the same time, because then we are living as the example for everybody else, to show everybody else what's possible. We're not meant to live in fear. We don't need to go running and trying to protect ourselves, because we can create our own health, our own balance, our own well-being. And it's not that difficult. If you need assistance in clearing out these old programs, if you need assistance connecting to your inner brilliance, if you need assistance connecting to the wisdom of your own soul, so you can start living as your soul in this life. There are two pieces of us. There's the physical part, the physical human. Okay, that's the mind. That's the part that goes to the outside reality. And that's the part that gets programmed in. Then there's the infinite, eternal soul self, the non-physical part of us. That's who we are. That's the real part. The non-physical is the real reality. The non-physical is the eternal, everlasting reality. This human physical experience is just a temporary experience. And it can be temporarily awful, or it can be temporarily amazing. Don't you want to go for the amazing one? All right, so we've all been sent inside. So this week, go inside. Look in the corners. Where do you need to dust? What are you carrying around? Is there some guilt? Is there some shame? Just simply notice it and then sit in your own brilliance. And then allow that light to just melt away that dust, that old stuff. You don't have to try to rip it out. You don't have to try to figure it out. You don't have to try to process through it. When you sit in your own light, when you shine the light in those dusty corners, the light illuminates and cleanses at the same time. Multitasking at its finest. If you need assistance, please reach out to me. I have gone through all of this. I've gone the hard route, and now I've decided that I'm taking the easy route. If you want to take the easier route with me, please reach out. I'll be more than happy to assist you. So until next week, go within, tap into your inner brilliance, and let your light shine and dissolve any darkness that has still been hanging out in the corners of your internal environment. It will change your entire external environment as it goes, simply, easily, organically. All right. So until next week, thanks for joining me today, everybody. Until next week, create for yourselves a great week. Shine bright. Bye for now.